Hi friends! In this video I'm going to show you 4 tips that will make your dimension lines looking more professional in your projects. With this, I mean, when we plot our drawings, how can we always keep the same sizes of text, extension lines, etc., even if we are using dimensions in different scales? How to keep the same spacing between the dimensions and the objects, and how to create a template file with your own personalized dimension styles. Let's start. Draw the dimension line at a specific distance from the object. Suppose we have this example and we need to add dimensions to indicate the lengths of these lines. In fact, that's easy to do. We just need to activate the command dimension linear, click on 2 points, and finally click again to place the dimension line, right? Okay, now I'm going to do the same, but for the left side. And also let's add a horizontal dimension here in the bottom. As you can see, the dimensions are correct, and there is nothing wrong with them. But as you can notice, I used a random distance from the lines for each of the dimensions. Okay, maybe it's not a big deal, but in my opinion, it's better if we use a specific dimension spacing for the entire drawing, or even for the full project. Let's see, I'm going to do this again. This time, I'm drawing a dimension line measuring this section. But then, instead of clicking on a random location for placing the measurement, I decided to have it, for example, at 500 mm above the line. And when I see this extension track line, I type 500 and press enter. In this way, I will have that distance between both objects. Then, for the left dimension, I use the same method. I hover the endpoint, drag to the left and type 500 again. Finally, I repeat the same process down here. Type the 500 mm. And now you can see that all the dimensions have the same separation between the lines, making the drawing looking nicer. Of course, there are always exceptions in a rule. Let's use the command continue for the dimensions above. First, I have to choose to select the object that I want to continue. I click on select, then on this extension line. As you can see, I am adding another dimension connected with the first one. And finally, add a third dimension by clicking in this last corner. Of course, as you can see, this last dimension is far away from the line. But in this way, I can have all the dimensions in this side all along the same reference line. Finally, here you have an example of this method applied in a floor plan. Set specific lengths for extension lines. Another nice setting is to set a fixed length for the extension lines, those bars that limit the measurement. Using the default settings, when I add more dimension lines all along this side, and look that I can do it pretty quick by just clicking in each intersection, they start from the points where I click with an offset gap that is also specified in the Dimension Style Manager. I'm going to access that menu by clicking on the icon located on the Dimensions panel. Select the dimension style, this one annotative, and click on Modify. In this section below, put a tick here to add a fixed length on all the extension lines. As you can see, the length here is 3 mm, and actually, as this is an annotative style, this value means that the extension lines will measure 3 mm in a paper after printing it. Click on OK, and you can see the result. Use annotative dimensions, especially in projects that we use more than one scale. This layout is a drawing about an elevation of a building. The viewport above shows the complete drawing in scale 1/100, And below, I created 2 viewports with the details of the windows and doors. And the scale is also smaller, 1/20. As you can see, the dimension lines are in the same size in all of the viewports. Now, suppose that I created them with the standard dimensions. I would need 2 different dimension styles. The ones on the elevation, the text height has to be around 200 mm,